Well, hello and welcome to what's in this week's Oban Times with me, Sandy Neal.
Me, Jodie Hagan.
Me, Owen Wild.
And me, Kathy Griffiths.
Well, you can hear all our stories and lots more online by going to westcoasttoday.co.uk or picking up a printed copy. But here's a wee insight just for you, starting with our newest reporter, Jodie. Jodie, you've had a busy week.
Yes, so on Thursday night I was in Lochaber covering the general election count for Argyll, Bute and South Lochaber. The SNP's Brendan O'Hara won the seat, which was a big moment for the party considering their massive election defeat. Having just started working at the paper, it was an amazing story to cover, and my favourite moment of the night was definitely filming the helicopters landing with the ballots from the islands, although I did nearly get swept away with the force of the wind. In other news, the Young Aquaculture Society has been visiting some Scottish sea farm sites to learn from experts. And finally, as part of the Clipper race festivities next week, a Clipper yacht crew has organised a Chop for Charity fundraiser, which will see local hairdressers and barbers give free haircuts to boat team members, supporters and the general public, in return for a donation, of course.
Great, thank you very much, Jodie. And yes, it was a bit of a baptism of fire dropping you into a general election in your first week, but you and your fellow political correspondent Megan Day coped brilliantly, delivering first-class live coverage on the night and analysis after. And talking of bright new hope, Owen, what stories have you been looking into this week?
Well, Sandy, a boy from Lochaber has become British gymnastics champion after claiming gold for Scotland in tumbling. And a singer from Barra has reached new audiences by lending her incredible vocal talents to a horror game. I looked into one of Oban Town Centre's biggest issues as well, the lack of space on the pavements. According to one concerned local, it makes getting around for wheelchair users or mobility scooters completely impossible. What can be done to address that? Why is the issue so bad? Find out in this week's paper.
Thank you very much, Owen, and we save our biggest story for last. Kathy mined her rich resource of skills to get you the inside track. Tell us more.
Well, that's it. It's an end of an era. After a 32-year run, Oban FM went off air for good after its last show on Sunday, despite efforts to save it. Oban Communities Trust, who run Rockfield, said it had been in discussion with the radio station to explore ways it could help, but unfortunately there was nothing to be done. On Monday, the station was considering going into voluntary liquidation and was awaiting instruction from financial advisors. So I know lots of people are going to miss that community service. Argyll health bosses opened their mouths too soon, it seems, about solving a dental crisis on Mull. Read the paper and go online to find out exactly what's happening there. Also, a rum micro distillery got approval for Oban, that's off Lochaber Road. 4 cyclists raised more than £30,000 for good causes after a journey of 460 miles cycled, climbing more than 22, I've put feet here, but I think it might be more than 22,000 feet. I think even I could manage climbing more than 22 feet.
Tyree's pretty flat, Kathy, so maybe that's...
No, I reckon it's 22,000 feet, crossing 6 islands with the help, of course, of 15 ferries. And I've got my rucksack packed ready for Tyree Music Festival. Have you? If you haven't, and you don't have a ticket, you can still be there, virtually speaking, that is, because event organisers have come up with a digital offering called TMF, that's for Tyree Music Festival, TMF TV. Read all about that in this week's OT or online at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Back to you, Sandy. I'm off to Tyree.
Well, lucky you. We're all more than a little bit jealous about that. Well, it's back to you, listeners. That's it for this week. Thank you for listening, and it's goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
Goodbye from me, Jodie Hagan.
Goodbye from me, Owen Wild.
And goodbye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hey.